Well, we're back. Flaminpit Part 2. Still doing okay back there, Johnny?
Just rolling over here. I got the hard record computer going in this one, so I had to roll back between the two.
He's just rolling back and forth. He's just having so much fun. I think he's having too much fun back there. I can just hear that chair rolling. So for Part 2 today, we have Ms. Danielle Brown, who is Executive Director of Christ Enrichment Center. Welcome, Ms. Brown.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
So Danielle's going to tell us about some events or an event that's coming up later this week. I've been so packed we couldn't even squeeze you in earlier in the month.
It's okay. It's okay.
We got you in the day, so we're going to rap about it. So tell us what's going on at Christ Enrichment.
Well, on this coming Thursday, we're having our second annual literacy recognition and awareness breakfast. Mm-hmm. And September is Literacy Awareness Month. And so what we've decided to do was to really celebrate people who are advocates and support the advancement of literacy. So we give out a couple of awards, mm-hmm. and then we allow one of our students will be sharing a little bit about their experience at Christ Enrichment Center, and it'll start at 7:30 a.m. on Thursday morning. And we will be done by 9 a.m.
Why people got to get up and eat so early?
Well, I mean, at least if you're getting up to eat, at least let it be that really good breakfast that Service Center is able to provide, because it's a full breakfast. My pastor was saying on Sunday how he still can remember the bacon that we
That's how good it was.
He didn't say anything about literacy. He didn't say anything about the awards that were given out. He said they have some really good bacon at the Service Center. And so I was glad that he was able to find the thing that he liked about the day and that morning, and that others will be able to as well. And this is one of our major fundraisers mm-hmm. annually. So if people aren't able to make it to the breakfast, we definitely would benefit from them providing us with donations and mm-hmm. things along those lines. We know that literacy, especially for adults, is a very nominally funded effort. Mm. And so every dollar that we get, is able to support us providing programming at no cost to adults. Mm-hmm. And then we also have the children in the after school program that we work with through some of their academic struggles. But then, of course, they're children. Mm-hmm. So they have to do some fun stuff.
Right.
So karate and basketball and arts and crafts and a variety mm-hmm. of dance, a variety of activities that are entertaining to them in the after school hours, and dinner. So, mm-hmm. and that program is only $25, and we do have scholarships available for that program as well.
Now, with the adult literacy, do they get to do fun stuff?
Well, the adults, it's interesting because depending on their skill level, they're either connected with a tutor mm-hmm. that they work with one-on-one, mm-hmm. or they're in a smaller classroom. So once they're fourth grade level learner and higher, the programming that we offer focuses on people who have learning levels up to the 8th grade. Mm-hmm. Because to do the GED, you need to at least be a 9th grade level learner. Mm-hmm. And so the folks we have that we're getting, they have a variety of concerns and issues academically, and sometimes they need a little bit more time, mm-hmm. and that's the reason why it's beneficial for us to have the financial resources available for our staff to support them, and then also the volunteers building a greater volunteer base of trained tutors who are able to help as well.
Now, who trains the tutors?
Well, we were blessed about a year ago to receive dollars that we had a train the trainer come in. So we have a staff person and one of our consultants who are both trained trainers. So they train the volunteers on site, and they're able to train them to work with adults as well as to work with the children.
Yeah, I know my adult used to have a program like that because I got certified back in the 90s to, teach whatever. And I just wondered what was going on up there because, when I come up there, I never see those things going on. So I'm always wondering, where are they?
Oh, yeah, they're not there on Fridays. So we don't have adult or children's classes on Fridays because Friday we have a food giveaway. And with all of the chaos that is, we try to allow the building to belong solely to that effort. Seeing somewhere between 75 and 100 maybe 140 families in about a 3-hour span of time. We don't do anything but the food giveaway. But on Monday through Thursday during the day, we have adult literacy programming, and then some one-on-one tutoring is available in the evening for those adults. And then in the evening and afternoon, we have the after-school program. And then we do a couple other things. We're doing some partnerships with Healthy Start in the Genesee County Health Department, which is a infant mortality disparity project for women who are pregnant and have children under the age of 2. And so we're we do some support groups with them, and we lease our space. So we have Narcotics Anonymous there in the evening times on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. So we're pretty actively a community center, but a community center with a mission to empower people to be independent, because we know that when someone gets their GED and then some workforce trade skill, it changes the life of their entire family. And so that's something that we really want to be a part of, and that's why we emphasize that so much.
Well, speaking about the NA group, I didn't know where a lot of the people went because they used to have a program through CMH that they closed down. And so are those the people that come over? Well,
the Narcotics Anonymous program is just a 12-step group. So it's like Alcoholics Anonymous. They come in the evening time and they have their meetings regularly, and we've had some of the folks that are there at the center, because Narcotic Anonymous does not belong to Christ Enrichment Center. It is a national initiative that groups of people do and charter themselves. But we have some folks who've been with us now since, I'd say, at least the 90s.
Wow.
So they find the space to be safe and affordable. And it's always good for people to know that if you're having trouble, that you can always find what you're looking for, and it's in a sustained place. That's, again, the benefit of it being a community center.
Yeah, because it's still people that don't quite know where Christ Enrichment is. And, I know people that said they wanted to volunteer, but they were like, well, I don't know where it is. Has it always been in that spot?
It has always been there. Christ Episcopal Church was formerly in that location. The original building was built in like 1918, the oldest part of the building. And then the newer part was built in the 1960s. But the Episcopal Church and the Diocese of Eastern Michigan made a commitment that the facility would not be blighted, that they just wouldn't leave it empty. Like so many times when churches move, they just leave. They try to sell the building. It's like the schools. They try to sell the buildings, but it's expensive to maintain a building like the one that we have, and the insurance and all of those things. And so they have raised some dollars through endowment, but it requires daily operational resources to sustain the facility, and that's something that the church has really wanted, and they play a great role in supporting that as well. But we still need the help of every person to sustain us.
Now the luncheon or breakfast, it seemed like you guys just had that.
It was last September.
The time went by so fast when I saw that announcement. I was like, didn't they just do that?
Yeah, it was last September.
It's always in September.
It's the Literacy Awareness Month, and so we do the recognition in September. With it being Literacy Awareness Month, the library systems, they also are have a library card sign-up month. And so they're really trying to get the word out this month to get people to sign up for library cards. And then on Friday, following our event, the next day after our event, there is a basic skills summit that's going on, because there's a committee of different organizations that have been working to really find out what is the crux of the issue around basic skills in our community.
Right.
What are the definitions? How do we create a strategic plan for going forward? And that's going to be at the Riverfront Center, the Riverfront U of M.
Yeah, that's the building across the street.
Yes, and so it'll be there. It starts at 8:30 a.m.
Ooh, y'all get up too early.
They'll be there till 2 o'clock in the afternoon or so. I'm excited about that because I think that there are not enough people that really understand the depth of the crisis we have around basic skills and adult literacy here locally, and how that affects families in totality. So we want a better community. We have to have more resources. We have to have affordable, accessible resources for people who are in a disadvantaged, vulnerable position.
Yeah.
And so food is great, but what is it? There's scripture that speaks about, teaching a person to fish versus giving them fish. I think it's scripture. Well, everything's in the Bible. Everything's in the Bible.
Right. Well, it's like when you talk about literacy, I guess the two things, literacy and hunger, seems to be like the big issue in Flint from from being in different groups and volunteering in different places is what I see happen. Homelessness, all those things run together.
Yeah, but trying to build a qualified, quality workforce population that will bring work to this community and see our community as viable. It will help reduce the amount of violent crime.
Right.
It'll support the development of affordable housing. People that are educated and have at least some access to secondary education or training have a lot more opportunities to change the structure of a family. It takes people out of poverty. As soon as you have someone who's either had access to or engaged in secondary education or trade program, it's like that family moves one step out of poverty, and then more opportunities begin to present themselves. And so the more opportunities like that we have locally, the better it is for our community and all the families that are here.
So what do you think is the percentage of people that actually come to the center for literacy and food? Because I know on Fridays, it's like last week, I think we probably did about 150 people.
And how many of those people do we think are coming that are participants in programming?
Yeah.
I would say that via programming, we probably, from our program, we might see about 40% of the people in our programming who utilize the resources. And that was one of the reasons why I decided that we should do the food giveaway.
Yeah.
That when people are having basic skill crisis and, I really don't have GEDs or high school diplomas, and so barriers to work.
Right.
When they're in those types of situations, they're financially going to be struggling. And so to me, it aligned with the mission to be able to provide access to supplemental food.
Right.
And that's what the food giveaway is supplemental food for families.
Now, whose idea was to start the food program aside from you? Like, did you just wake up one day and said,
no.
Snap!
No, I received a call from representation from the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan saying that they had a venue that was going to be a reclamation site like we are, and that they had said they wouldn't be able to do it, and wanted to know that I think we could. And at that point, I didn't really have a great idea about how it worked, but I felt like, well, let's try it. So it was Good Friday of 2012, and the whole idea was that if we can get enough volunteers to make this thing move, we'll keep it. But the day it has to be fully staffed by paid staff,
people,
then we won't continue to do it. And we've been able to sustain for all this time, and it's funny because, and maybe you can speak to this, people that do the food giveaway, if they come there for the right reasons, they really love doing it.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you got to say, no, you can't come back versus saying that we need more people. I like the idea of diversifying the people who are able to help with the food giveaway, because I think that people need to have different experiences. And I do think we also need to be conscientious about the amount of food we're putting out in the community in replicatable ways.
Right.
There's no point in me doing a food giveaway and then 1 mile over there's another one, then another mile over there's another one.
Yeah.
So I do think that we could do a better job collaboratively about that. But
But the thing is, like the paper that you guys give out, you see that they can go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, somewhere different and get food. So it's not, how would you know, or would you know ahead of time to say, okay, well, this week we don't need to give out food because they're going to have it up around the corner. Like last week they had the veggies over at...
Right. And those are special initiatives, and that's the reason why I think that as a site that is a venue for food giveaways, we could benefit from having more conversations with each other about how we do this strategically, and bring the food into the community in a way that it is beneficial, always beneficial.
Yeah.
But I think that for us, for example, when we have our summer day camp, I'm hoping to be able to not have to do food giveaways in the month of June and July and possibly August, because the winter months is really hard for a lot of places to do food giveaways, where we've kind of mastered the way of doing it in the wintertime.
Bring them inside.
And so we bring our folks inside, and we know how to keep it safe and those kinds of things. And so it may be better for us to do those harder months. And when it's a little easier, allow other entities to do those things. And so, but these things do require dialogue. So
in advance, because I know the people that I know that come every week, they love coming. They say we're very organized. They're like, we're one of the most organized places that they go. And so I always like that, because I tell them, that's right, keep y'all in line. And you, what are you doing here again? I have a lot of fun doing it, and I've never done anything like that. But, sometimes, you might hit a rough spot. Some people might come in, they have a bad attitude, or we give them something they don't want, and they're like, well, I'm just going to leave it outside on the lawn, and it's like, don't do that. Just find somebody to give it to,
Exactly.
Don't throw anything away, and please don't tell me you're getting this food to give to the birds. If you do it, don't tell me.
Well, but the thing is this, we have to really think about, okay, so we do this food giveaway, but do we want people to feel like they're going to perpetually need to be coming to us for food, or do we want them to make sure that they know that there are other resources available so that they can begin to see this food giveaway as a supplement, maybe come once a month or twice a month, versus them coming at that level?
Well, the thing is, they're going to come every week because they go to the other places too. Every week, every day. Like I said, you can look on that sheet, and there's a place some of them do it once a month, some of them do it the third Thursday or something like that. But then the ones that does it every day or every week, then they're there because they tell me, oh, so and so is giving food away. Oh yeah, and they're in line talking about it. So I always say, you guys must have big pantries.
Something.
Because you're getting a lot of stuff. But they come, and, we know, like last week was really busy, and I was just surprised. I wondered where all those new people come. Well, some people are coming in from like Clio. I had some people come in from Saginaw, and they said they had just heard about us. So So they come in, they brought all their family and everything. So every week, we might get new people.
Yeah, every week it looks like we get new people.
Yeah.
Sometimes we might even get up to 40 to 50% new. And
right.
then sometimes it's all the way down to 20%
Well,
new.
last week I filled up both sides of the page.
Wow.
You know how you write at the bottom and they two-sided? I filled up both sides.
Wow.
With all new people.
Yeah, there were, and then when I was doing registration the prior week, there were quite a few people that were coming from far away to come and access the food. And so it's on one side, it kind of makes you like, this is so much work. And then on the other side of it, you really do truly feel like you've been a blessing to people. And that's the same thing that really happens when it comes to the adult learners. It's the same thing that happens as a tutor when you are a volunteer doing something that's really helping people to be empowered, to be to remove some of the disadvantage away. And so we feel like we're doing a good work, and we're very fitted in our work. I don't try to get all over the place. Even the work that we do with the women, we're looking at what role we can play to make sure that they're getting their GED and high school diplomas, and that they're fitted into the programs as necessary. So we're trying to be very creative with very nominal resources. And so that's why the breakfast that we'll be having on Thursday will be so beneficial to us.
Now, when I first started, at one time, you guys used to have baby stuff. You'd have diapers and, little stuff like that. And I noticed we don't get any of that anymore. Do we have a need for that, for people coming up there asking for that? Because I know they did the diaper drive through Channel 12.
Well, yeah. We do. What we do is we get the diapers, but instead of just putting them out with the truck, we support the maternal infant health program at Hurley and Genesis, and we support Healthy Start. And so when the nurses or social workers from one of those hospitals who service they probably are servicing somewhere around 70% of all women who are pregnant in this community, maybe a little less than that. And so we make sure that those diapers get into those nutritionists, social worker, nurses, paraprofessional, their hands.
Right.
And then they get those diapers back into the community to people that really need them versus people who are just coming through the food line and picking them up. Right. So we have actually I was waiting for Genesis to come and pick some diapers up. I thought they were coming on yesterday. So hopefully by the time I get back, they will have picked those diapers up because we had some more supplies come in.
Well, we haven't had a request for any diapers lately, but I know past last winter we had a couple people that was in line before we figured out how to get them downstairs. They were outside and it was kind of chilly, and they'd have like real little babies out there with no blankets or anything like that, and we found a blanket. And,
I think I was there that day, and that's it's interesting how it is that God works, because if I hadn't been there that day to see that, I may not have really understood the direness of why we need to bring people indoors. There are people that walk to the food giveaway, and then there are people that drive. And I remember sharing with the people in the food line that if they would allow everyone that walked to sit in their car, then I wouldn't have to. Then I would not make them stand in the line because everyone would be warm, and then they all get out at the same time.
Right.
But if this one is sitting in their car, and then there's another mother standing out there whose baby has on shoes and no socks in the cold, then we're just not going to do it that way. So once the weather breaks and it actually really does truly get cold, then we allow people to come indoors. But it is also a great opportunity for health professionals to come in and talk to the population while they're there waiting. We're looking at a partnership with one of the organizations that can do flu shots. And so those are different things that can go on in awareness building right while people are waiting for the food giveaway.
Because last year we had the lady with the Veterans Administration that came in and were talking to people and passing out literature and stuff like that.
So they just call, and so someone, if they'd be interested, they can call and just ask if they could come to a food giveaway and distribute materials and information, and I'd make sure that they were connected. And then because I know we service such a vulnerable population, I always kind of track the people out to make sure that they're coming to do the right things, not just coming to set people up for something.
Yeah.
So, so we do that. We do that as well.
Now, what other kind of fundraisers do you have through the year or annually to bring in money?
This is one of our major fundraisers because I've been at the center now for just a little under 2 years. We're really restructuring how we do some of our fundraising and fund development. So one of the things that we're looking at, and you and I hadn't had an opportunity to talk, but I was speaking with someone around this idea of 25 years, because Christ Research Center is 25 years old next year.
Oh, okay.
And so 25 years of love and having a dinner dance.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's
would
something
be fun.
I thought so as well. And so we're trying to build a small committee, but we're in the middle of this event right now.
Yeah.
So as soon as I can get past this one,
on to the next one.
Then we'll get right on to the next one. So that
Right.
type of effort. But then also looking at opportunities for people to make pledges throughout the year for towards their $250 gift, their $2,500 gift, their $25,000 gifts,
Yeah.
their
We like those.
$250,000 gift.
Have you ever had any of those?
A $250,000 gift? No, I have not seen one myself, but
That'd be a fat check.
But I do believe that God is able. So I haven't seen it yet, but I do know that the more that we share about what it is we're doing,
Right.
and if we keep our integrity together, it's one of the most difficult things about being in human services. I've seen a lot of things over the years.
Right.
I've been working in human services since 1995, and the world of human services has changed drastically.
Right.
And so it's hard to keep your staff paid, but it's also hard to service people as well. So trying to create a healthy balance of quality service and appropriate pay lines for staffing is really, a challenge, but something that we definitely need resources and supports to make sure that we balance that out and really work toward an end of success, which is access to workforce.
Right. Well, I think that the dance would be fun because people like a good dance, and
they like to dress up.
Well, you dress up. We're gonna feed you.
Yes, a little red carpet.
Yeah. Get your picture taken on the red carpet for the 25th.
Might even get a song out of Danielle. You never know.
That's what I'm saying. I know this chick can blow.
Might get a little song out of me.
A song and dance for Danielle.
You got the ED up there in a dress singing.
That's what I'm talking about. I think that'd be a good idea. That'd be a good fundraiser.
Yeah, that's one of the things we're looking at. And then, of course, we'll do the breakfast again in September. But our goal is to have 2 major fundraisers next year.
Right.
And so we're trying. I may look very young, but I'm 42. So I'm finding my way in this.
I like a person to tell their age.
I love telling my age because people don't ever really know how old I am. Look at me.
Look
42.
at this, 60.
Look at that.
60 here.
I'm phenomenally 42.
That's what I'm saying. I love it. When people lie about their age.
I don't understand it. I saw a lady, this is completely aside, I saw a lady at the gym and I heard her tell somebody she was 60. I'm like, she looks old.
That's what I'm saying. You don't want people to guess that age because they'll be like, what are you, 117?
Yeah, I'm confident you turned 60 a while ago. You just repeating it.
That's too funny.
Just because I know my mother is 61 and my father is 62 and you're 60, and I know quite a few people in their 60s, and they are phenomenal looking. I mean, just holding it together, of all different types of races, just ready to run. I have some board members that are in their 70s and some that are near their 80s, and their brains and their minds are sharp. And that's the reason why, just as a complete segue, that's the reason why I love retirees and volunteers who are retirees, because they've had an experience with work.
Yeah.
They don't just respect the workplace, but they respect themselves.
Yeah.
And so they come there to do good work, and they're not trying to get over on anybody. Because they're making a choice to be there. So I love retirees. Give me a 60 and over any day.
Amen. And I love it because I had always said when I do retire, I was just going to jump in and do everything I never did before. And, if I'm doing the radio show and doing the different groups and everything, helping out here and there, it's just like been a blast. And now trying to write a book and everything, it's like, what am I doing?
It's having a good time.
Everything I can do.
Having a very good time. And that's why I was just speaking to a friend at lunch, and we were talking about making sure that whatever you're doing now, that you're making the preparations for the things that you really want to be able to do. So that you don't wear yourself out.
Yeah.
That you what is it? One of the missionaries, she used to always say that she's bent but she's not broke. And that she's working to wear herself. She wants to wear herself down, not out, or something along.
Yeah, it sounds like stuff my dad says.
Yeah. She's just gonna keep on keeping on and doing and being excited about being a valuable person in addition to lives of people that truly, sincerely need that. And sometimes it can't be your own family members.
Right.
Sometimes it has to be someone that you don't know, so you can see it different.
Yeah.
You can hear it different, and then you get a new appreciation for your own family member.
Right.
Because so many of us have family members that just don't know how to behave.
No, they don't. They ungrateful as hell.
They don't know how to behave.
And you tell them about volunteers, like, what? I don't get paid? It's like everything you do, you can't get paid.
But I will say this: retirees. Retirees have done jobs and that they've been paid for, and now so many times it seems to me as if they want to do something that they like.
Yeah.
Not just to make money.
Yeah.
But that they feel good about.
It's stuff I want to do when I want to do it. That's my motto. It's like, if I want to do it, I'll do it. If I don't have to.
Exactly.
Before it's 8 to 5. You had to.
Right.
Now I don't have to. That's why I say y'all get up too early. 7 o'clock. But a lot of times I'm just going to sleep at that time.
Oh no.
Because I'm up. I tell everybody it's funny because they be like, oh, I went to bed 9 o'clock. Well, we never sleep at my house. It's like we be up all night. We might sleep 30 minutes, wake up. We all geeked up, me and my boy. We amped up. And then like 4 or 5 o'clock more down, we coming down, we going to sleep. And then I'm right back up like 7:30.
Yeah.
It's like I'm used to getting up early. Even though I've been retired almost 5 years, I'm still used to getting up early. So now I can just be up all night.
Yeah, I did a little sneaky one myself. I was up till about 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I was back up this morning at 7:15.
See?
And so, but
and
my
I'm
body
still full
won't,
of energy.
yeah, my body won't allow me to stay. And I did kind of like lounge around because I knew I would be up late.
Yeah, take you a nap in the middle of the day.
Yeah, kind of.
That's what I like about being retired. I can go home and take a nap now. I've done my work today.
And that's the thing about having retired literacy volunteers, because you all can come, you can tutor with your person 2 to 4 hours a week, and then you have your whole life free.
Right.
And you don't have to do it at the center. You can do it at the library or another location. One of the things that we like to build out to is being able to have other ministries send people who want to be tutors to us to be trained, and then do the baselines for their students,
right?
And then let them do the tutoring at their ministries.
Oh, okay.
So we don't have to do everything on site because we need so many people to touch the amount of people that need to be served. This is about 30,000 people, actually about 60,000 people who either don't have a high school diploma or GED.
Wow.
Or have never had any access to secondary education or trade programs, or are non-English speaking.
That's a big number.
60,000 in Genesee County.
What?
In Genesee, so we have a formal crisis in our community.
I guess so.
So we really need volunteers because the government is not putting money into this.
Yeah.
This is similar to our violence issue in our community.
Right.
We have to get behind it. And the thing about education that I love is once you have it, no one can take it from you.
Right.
So I've spoken to people who've been incarcerated and now are re-entered into the community and have a mind to do those things that are right. And they're strong and they're powerful because they own their own mind.
Right.
And then they're able to, and there's still work for them. Every job, it may not be for them, but there's still work and efforts going forward in this community to make sure that there's employment, not just for people who have always made the right decisions, but even people who haven't always made the right decisions, even in a time when government would say no Pell Grant, government would say no access to loans.
Right.
There are people that have the wherewithal, and there are other people as well with a desire to see them successful. And in a collaborative way, we're really able to build and sustain some community. But this is a huge issue. That's why the Friday effort is so important, because they're going to be releasing more numbers around those types of things. And then also looking at what the plan is. What is the strategy? Who takes on which aspect of it? Who's gonna? One of the things that I'm really careful, and I'm really gonna be careful with this. So if it seems like I'm dancing, then you say don't talk about it because you're dancing too much.
Right.
There is a huge commitment to early childhood education in the state of Michigan. But how can you make a financial commitment to a child when their parents are disadvantaged? Poverty is cyclical. Children are born into situations that have adults attached to them.
Right.
You can never take children out of their family bubble. I work with children who had parents that were incarcerated, parents that were on drugs, parents that did horrible things. And when those young people got off of probation or went back to their local community, they went back to their parents. You cannot educate people away from their families in that fashion. Education and that opportunity has to be a family conversation. And it has to be, dollars have to look at how to support the growth of a family. That's why the after school programming is just as important to us as the adult literacy programming. Because if you have a child that's not making it, and you have a parent who has not made it and now is desiring to make it, collaboratively we create a safe place for that family. And then if their finances are off, then there's a food resource to supplement.
Right.
And so I have this like kind of internal vision of us being a family service center to build access to workforce and to build access to education in long-term ways. And one last thing in reference to that, I was just talking to someone earlier in the week about how my girls, my nieces and my goddaughter and my godson as well, they've only ever seen me work in an office. They don't know anything about working in plants in relationship to me. They know their dad does that and that my father did. But they have a variety of lines of connection around what work means to them. They're not solely directed to one type of work.
Like everybody go to GM, they know nothing else.
Exactly. And so now that my children are advantaged just by that experience. And so what about adults who haven't had that experience? Those adults are advantaged by having an experience of seeing people doing things that they have never seen them doing before. And that it's not just that they're social workers, but there are lots of other trades and mentors for adults as well as for children.
That's why I think when I was coming out of high school, I worked so many different places. I always knew I was going to work in an office, but I've been like a chef's helper. I've been a waitress. I've done all of that. And now I told one of the girls that I used to work with, I said, I want to work fast food. I said, I've never worked fast food. And people always look down at working at fast food. And I'm like, why?
But you can be a phenomenal greeter. You love it.
I want to work fast food. I want to be at the window. Can I help you?
Oh, no, I don't know about that part.
Welcome to Burger King. Can I help you?
I don't know about that part. I'd like to be a Walmart greeter or something.
Well, I don't want to be a Walmart greeter. I want to serve some burgers and fries and shakes.
Okay.
I want to do that, but when they said McDonald's was hiring 50,000 people around, I applied and they wouldn't hire me.
Really?
I said, wait a minute, I can't get a job at McDonald's.
You know what?
They heard that you plotted to take over. That's
I know. My mom cracked up laughing. She's like, I can't believe it. I said, but everybody I know that applied at McDonald's did not get hired. I said, so I don't feel bad. I said, but I'm going to go up in there and be like, hold up, wait a minute.
Like, how do you get a job at McDonald's? Right. I don't understand this.
I just live up the street. I just want a job right here because I've never done it. It's like on my bucket list. I want to work fast food. And my sister did it when she was younger. She worked for Burger King. And still to this day, people always be like, oh, why you want to work at McDonald's? It's like, it's a job. It's something to do.
Well, I tell people this all the time. My first job was McDonald's. And I tell people, and my girlfriend, we were just talking about this recently because that was one of her first jobs as well. Mm-hmm. And at McDonald's, the management knows how to do everybody's job.
Yeah, they should.
We think that that's a model that everyone should take across the country.
Yeah.
If the CEO of the hospital can't take blood, then
he shouldn't be CEO.
And you know what, too? McDonald's spends billions, and maybe millions of dollars each year on training materials. They know how to teach people so rapidly. They're like innovators in that field.
They're phenomenal trainers. When I'm at work, I always think about that. I always think about there's not really many jobs at my job that I can't do, even though I may not want to do those jobs.
I know
that I can if I have to.
Push come to shove, you can do it.
And I think that McDonald's is a phenomenal trainer, like he was sharing, and it really helped me in my work ethic. It taught me how, if you can lean, you can clean.
That's a rhyme.
But if that's the truth, that's what they tell you. If you can lean, you can clean.
And I think that all businesses
teach you how to stay busy.
Yeah, I think they all should know too, but some places don't, because I used to wrestle with people at the university. It's like we had to write a manual when I became supervisor. The first thing the director says, I want a manual so that everybody knows everybody's job. And I said, they don't know that already. And what we was finding was, okay, this your job, this my job, this my job. Okay, if somebody come in for you and you're not here, then you don't get service.
Oh, yeah.
And I would be like, what? Wait a minute. Why aren't you guys? Well, we don't know how to do it. They got to wait for them to come back.
Right.
So I was excited when he said, get that manual done.
Exactly.
Because I don't see why anybody should have to come in here and be like, well, I can't do it. You got to wait. That's not good customer service.
And that's one of the things we've been working on. Even we have work study students and a variety of part-time people that come through other organizations to us. And so one of the things that we do is teach everyone how to answer the phone, and that we have a standard practice on how we want the phone answered.
Hello.
And everybody in the building should be able to answer the phone at any time. Any
what
phone
up?
should be. No. And so today the young man was like, well, you want me to tell him my name? I said, absolutely. When you say, thank you for calling Christ Enrichment Center. This is Danielle. How may I help you? And they said, well, what if a person comes looking for me because I said my name? I said, people that come to us on so many levels have been, at many times have been disrespected and treated wrong.
Right.
When they come to us, I want them to know that we respect them, and that we honor them, and that we want them to be there. And by sharing your name, that's a part of it.
Well, that's funny because last week was the first implementation of name tags.
Yes.
So people was back there going, I'm not putting my real name on here. I'm going to put down what people call me. I don't want people to know who I am. And it's like, come on, guys.
But I don't know who they are, and that's a bigger problem.
I don't know who they are either. And I've been back there for the whole time, minus 1 week, and I don't know everybody back there.
And that's a big problem. That's why they're wearing name badges.
And they hated it. They were just like...
Well, they're going to wear them again, too.
Because they was like, I ain't put my real name on here. Well, what if somebody come up here? I said, they going to point at you. It's her. Whether they know your name or not, they going to know what you look like.
I don't care what they put on there as long as they do the same thing every week.
Every week.
If you're BB, you stay BB.
All week.
Every time I see you better be BB.
Don't come in here AABBCC. Go down the alphabet.
Every single time. I always have a good time when I come and visit with you. You don't have a drop of sense.
Not a drop.
Not a drop.
Oh my goodness, you too funny. Now, see, you gotta be good to me. I'm one of your lead volunteers.
Yes, you are. Yes, she is. She is one of our lead volunteers, and I can see her getting her fingers all around and her mouth all wet about a 25 and 25. I can see it. It's all on her. She wants us to be sustained, and we need to do some good stuff to make that happen.
And we're going to do that too. We're going to do that. We're going to work it out. We're going to have that big event come up next year. So let me know when you need me.
Well, we'll have a meeting coming up real quick.
So. Oh, no, not that quick. I'm going to have to quit talking. You want people to get up too early.
No, we won't have you come at 7. And I was going to make sure that you knew that we had a ticket reserved for you, that if you wanted to come to breakfast, that you were welcome to come.
Now, see, did nobody tell me that? Did nobody tell me that?
See, you have as one of our lead volunteers.
I can actually come in and grub.
You can come in. You can come in and Pastor said, eat some bacon. He said it's good. I don't eat bacon, but he said it was good. I love my pastor, but he always talks about food. He likes to eat.
See.
So he always has something to say about food. So I wasn't surprised when he said it was the bacon.
It was the bacon. Well, tell everybody where it is and what time it is, because I forgot just that fast. I was thinking about bacon.
See? Okay. And 2 major things that I want everyone to remember.
Okay.
On Thursday, September the 26th, at Service Center at 7:30 a.m. Promptly, we're going to start the second annual Literacy and Recognition Awareness Breakfast.
That's a lot to say.
I said it wrong. I have no idea. I kept writing it wrong too, but it's the second annual Literacy Awareness and Recognition Breakfast.
Okay.
And it will, it's $25 at the Service Center. And then the following day is the Basic Skills Summit. And it's going to be held at the Riverfront Center. And I guess I'm trying to think of, I know that they want everyone to register online, and I don't have a way to give you the link for that. So if you have anyone that calls in or is interested in registering to participate in that on Friday, because I think they may turn people away at the door if they're not registered.
If they're not registered.
Yeah.
You might have to call the site where it is, the place where it is, and figure out registration. Maybe it'll be on. Is it on Facebook?
Well, it's on. I have the email and I have a link.
Okay.
And so maybe if I send that to you.
Yeah, just put it up on Facebook.
Okay, put it on your link.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. Now I haven't been as brazen to say this at other locations, but I will say, just because the Friday event is free doesn't mean that you don't want to come to the Thursday, because there are 2 different types of events. One is supporting financially supporting programming that's currently existing. The other is learning how we advance the resources and supports and the coordination and collaboration and strategies so that we can have more programming going forward. So we need the program dollars to support now what does exist, but we also need the strong minds and the interest to develop what we want to build going forward for our community.
So we got 2 events, one Thursday and one Friday.
For National Literacy Awareness Month. And if you're just bored and you want to swing by your library and show everybody that you have a library card already and you don't need to sign up.
I have a library card.
I have a couple library cards.
I even have a picture down there from a few years ago when they took pictures for the literacy program.
See? You're all on this.
I'm on it.
You are all on it and all over it. This is your thing.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, so I'm glad that you allowed me to come in. Today is one of our let's look at the bottom line kind of days. And so I needed to step out and remember why we do what we do. And so this has been a great opportunity to speak with you.
Well, I
appreciate you having us.
You are so welcome. So I'm not going to be around next Tuesday. I'm taking a little break. But the following Tuesday, my guest will be the College Hunks That Brings Junk.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those signs everywhere.
They don't bring the junk, but
they
might bring junk.
They might have some junk
in have some junk in it. That's what I was saying, right? Yeah. But yeah, they're going to come in and tell us about their program in 2 weeks. So Flaminpit Show will be back in 2 weeks. But I want to thank you for coming in, and we're going to get everything posted up on from today's show. John will have it posted. We can move it around. Everybody get to see it.
Great.
And so I will see you in 2 weeks, but I'm going to try to see you Thursday if I wake up in time.
You'll make it. You'll make it.
Because I want some bacon.
Exactly. Come get some of that bacon.
So everybody have a good day. Flaming Pit, and we're out.